What's up, people? In this video we are going to do a mystery video. A touch of madness. Oh god, what is this? Oh, IronL00. Okay. I've seen this guy. He's been posted on 4chan before. I think he's just like, I don't really know. Like, I think he works out by himself, like in a parking garage or something. This guy's like from what I understand, he's like the epitome of your like autistic fucking bodybuilder who like it's just like in super good shape, but yet still socially awkward. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe this might be interesting. I guess we'll watch it. If you guys have any others,
with a touch of mad.
If you guys have any other suggestions for something, let me know.
You can get to any level you want. Any fucking level. You gotta be crazy. Crazy to get to the next level. Sick in the fucking head. I used to train with my best friend, 5 a.m. in the morning, pitch black, with a lantern attached to the pull-up bar. We worked out till 7. We had work at 7:30. We worked out all day, 7:30 to 5 p.m. Labor job. Cement bag push-ups. We had a pull-up bar, 2x4s and the skids doing dips. Push-ups, pull-ups, dips, dragon flags, one-arm pull-ups, all day. After work, worked out, did the weights. Ate, slept, straight soldiers, straight prison fucking workouts. They were brutal. The mentality was built on reps, sets, nothing fancy. You gotta be crazy. And we slept less. Me and my friends, we slept less. So you gotta be a maniac. You might lose friends. Fuck them. Do that shit lone wolf style. You don't need nobody. I believe training alone turns you into somebody else, a different type of animal. Ferocious. No gym. No girls. No distractions. No one to impress. No mirrors. Don't even look at yourself. Just lift. In solitary, dark, 1 dungeon rooms. I recommend that more than anything if you're trying to get brutally strong. So, you know, just understand a touch of madness goes a very, very long way. A lot of my core and mentality and total strength was built off of soldier training, pretty much. For a day or 2 out of the week, I would do what I call boot camp training.
Okay, what he's about to talk about sounds pretty interesting, but like, and you know, like I can't judge somebody's motivation for wanting to do something, right? We all have different reasons for why we do different things, and that, I guess you could say, will influence the choices we make on how to get to where we want to go, right? Like this guy, for example, he says he wanted to get brutally strong, so what did he say? He woke up at like, I don't remember, woke up at 5, let's say, worked out till 7, then he did his like manual labor job, and then he went and worked out again with his friend. I don't know what his background is. Like, is he just like working out just to work out, just because like he just likes to get strong, I guess? I don't know. It sounds kind of like that though, that this is just like, it's moved from like a hobby into like an obsession. Which I understand that. I think anybody who gets into fitness, you kind of go, you dip your toe into that water a little bit, just because you kind of, not that you're looking for a reason to continue, but you just kind of, once you get like a basic level of experience, you kind of think to yourself like, okay, like I'm fit, I know what to do now. How, like, what can I, how can I apply my like experience and familiarity with changing my body composition to, like, you pick a specialty, I guess. It's almost like in a video game, like where you have like your character and like you get like the basic skills, but then eventually you have to choose like you have to choose a skill tree or whatever. So I guess it's kind of like that with fitness. I mean, when I was watching this, I was listening to what he was saying, I was just thinking to myself, like, why, what's the appeal? Like, why do this? Why sacrifice any sort of like social life, or like, you say like no girls, you're gonna lose friends, right? Like any time you decide to do anything obsessively, you're probably gonna lose some of your like more mainstream friends. That's anything though. That's not just working out. I think like with working out, I mean, I don't know. It's diminishing returns once you get past a certain point. Like, what's the point of being like super strong or super jacked even if you're not taking advantage of that in the world, right? Like in my opinion, the whole reason I said this in the beginning is that, like, in my opinion, the main benefit, or one of the main benefits of being in really good shape, is that by contrast, most of the people that you will be around on a daily basis are not in shape. So you're automatically like, you get kind of preferential treatment from people by not by looking better than them, essentially, or being more fit than them, or having a nicer body, whatever you want to call it. Is that superficial? I don't think so, because that's just how the world works, right? If like there was some other metric that people judged you by immediately, that would like instantly, without you having to do anything, not even open your mouth, would automatically like raise, I don't want to say raise your status, but like make you more valuable in their eyes, I would do that too. You know, it's just working out is kind of like the easy one. But I think in situations like this, it can kind of go too far. It's like, not only does it go too far, but like I said, diminishing returns. Like, what is he getting out of this? Like, if you do it so obsessively that, and again, I don't know, is he competing or something? Doesn't sound like it. It sounds like he's just like obsessed with like getting stronger. Like for what? You know what I mean? Like, not judging him or anything, but like, you know, why? Think about what you want is essentially like you decide what you want, and then you like work backwards. Right? Like what is his goal here? Because if you don't do that, then the risk that you run is you end up picking something and working on it, and it takes you someplace that like you honestly like don't even really want to go to, right? You just fucking end up there one day and you're like, oh my god, I spent all this time working on this thing, and then I finished and I didn't even really want to get there because you didn't really have a plan as to where you were going to go. If that makes sense. So yeah, let's listen to this.
Pretty much tortured myself. I was in the woods for a day or two, alone. I had a backpack with a kilo of peanuts and a gallon of water. I didn't have a cell phone. I used to go I did 1,000 to 5,000 squats a day with a 100-pound vest and a 700-800 pound dumbbell. I did this for 6 months straight. There was not a day off. And then after that, I'd hop on my bike and I was going through stations. I was doing more squats, another 1,000, 100 pull-ups here, rope climbs. There were stations, and I go through the woods. I do my 3-mile run. I had the vest on still. The legs were failing. I kept going. It was running through sand. I made my own paths. I didn't follow the trails that were cut out for the people. I was running through bushes, sand, hopping swamps. I would lose my shoes sometimes, cut it short. Then there was times I collapsed, completely collapsed. The leaves, pile of shit, fell down. A family walked by, innocent family. They saw me down. They said, "Are you all right?" I said, "I don't know." They said, "What do you mean you don't know?" I said, "I was overtrained. My legs don't work." They wanted to call the ambulance. I refused. They gave me a bottle of water and refused it. And I got up eventually, blood flow. I guess something happened to my legs. I went to absolute failure. Not many people go to failure and beyond. I had to wait for the blood flow to come back to continue to be able to move. And I would collapse every 5-10 minutes. And I kept going. I tried killing myself in training. It was brutal. Push-ups in the dark, no sleep, endless pull-ups, push-ups, dips. And it was building the mentality. Just killing yourself, torturing yourself, and keep on going.
All right, that's a little... that's insane. This dude's crazy, huh? Okay, that wasn't like where I saw this going. I thought how he was like, he talked about how he would do like 1 day a week and do like an all-day workout basically, which is, I think there's benefit to that. Something like, honestly, the way this guy works out, nobody works out like this. Like, this guy's like one in a million, not even like one in like fucking like 50 million to do the shit like this. Probably even less than that. And I guess when you take it to such an extreme, maybe you get addicted to like breaking, surpassing your limits or whatever. Like, yesterday or 2 weeks ago, you did 1,500 squats and like 300 pull-ups and you ran for 3 miles, and you felt really good, or you felt like shit. And today you did it and like you felt better. So like you sense that you're like getting in better shape. I guess that's the appeal, but like, for what? Like, what's the? And I guess it's a hobby. Maybe it's your passion and you just enjoy doing it. You love doing it. And like I said earlier, like it doesn't line up with my personal motivations for getting in shape. Which at the end of the day, like I said, is like when I when I leave my fucking cube. When I go out into the world, shit is just easier for me, right? It's just easier. I feel better overall, right? Not even in terms of like health, but just in terms of like, I guess, confidence, right? To know that like you're at least better than these other people in this one way, right? Which like, call it what you want, but like human beings, we're always judging ourselves. We're always comparing ourselves to other people. We're always comparing other people to other people, right? So when you're, and it's, fine, it's not good, whatever. Like everything should come from within, but like you can't unwire that part of your brain. It doesn't like. I don't care like how enlightened you are. Like you're always going to compare yourself to other people. It's just it's you got to accept it, So if you have that one way, and honestly, it doesn't have to be fitness. It could be anything, because you don't actually need to be better than anybody. It just needs to be like, you need to perceive in your own mind that you're better in some way. And that sense of superiority, I think, will give you a little bit more confidence, right? And then, of course, there's the other way, which is where you just like get in the zone as a result of repeated action, and that will help build your confidence, right? Like the example that's coming into my mind is when I used to work in sales, and in the beginning, in the morning, you're waking up, you just had your coffee, you're like setting up the kiosk, you're still like groggy, like. You start out, and what I would do, at least, this is what I told my employees to do also. I'd be like, okay, just when you start in the morning, just start off by saying good morning to anybody who walks by. Just like start talking, just like get warmed up a little bit. Say good morning. Doesn't matter. They're not going to buy. Say good morning to the mall employees, like the old ladies that like walk around in the mall. And then like you do your first demo, let's say, when the mall opens, right? You do your first demo, it's gonna be shit. You're gonna like forget your lines. You're gonna like forget, like you'll skip parts of the demo without realizing it. And then you realize like, oh shit, I fucked this up. Okay, next time I gotta remember to do that, right? And then by the time you get warmed up, let's say by, the mall opens at 9, say it really like heats up around 11, but by the time 11 o'clock rolls around, you've done 7 or 8 demos, and you're fucking like, you've already done it 7 or 8 times by the time that it's like prime time. You know what I mean? So like when it's time to finally take advantage of the, easy targets, the easy kills, let's say, you're already like fresh, you're ready to go, right? So how did I even get on this topic? I don't remember.
I used to not do all the strongman heavy lifting. I'm doing it now because it's a phase I'm in, and I got hooked to strongman. I want to compete in it. But as you see, I still do my calisthenics. I still light. I'm still doing my pull-ups. I just edit it in a different way. The percentage is lower. Before, my main goals were calisthenics. So my style is athletics. So it's powerlifting, strongman, calisthenics. No matter what your goal is, it can cater to anyone at any level. So say powerlifting is your main goal. You would maybe do 60% powerlifting, 20% strongman, maybe 20% calisthenics, or maybe less calisthenics, more strongman. You have to incorporate what your goals are based on you and what you want to do. So right now, the bulk of it strongman and powerlifting. I've done years and years of just calisthenics. I've done years of just weightlifting, and I saw the pros and cons. So I wanted to be strong everywhere. I didn't want any of the weaknesses. That's why I designed what I designed for me, and it can work for anybody, I tell you. But if you're new, I really wouldn't get into heavy lifting right away. I wouldn't do it.
That's a fair point. Okay, so 2 things. Number one, what he said about doing a mix of calisthenics. Like what he does calisthenics, he does powerlifting, and he does strongman, right? Basically, calisthenics is like fucking body weight exercises. You can think of it like that, like pull-ups, push-ups, fucking jumping jacks. Like it's a very broad category. Powerlifting is basically like squat, deadlift, bench press as heavy as possible for 1 rep. It's more complicated. I'm simplifying. And strongman is basically like this weird shit where like you fucking like drag like a truck behind you with like 20 people in it. It's like not like a traditional lift. It's just really just like, I guess, your overall level of fitness and strength, if that makes sense. So he's doing a combination of all of those 3 things with what it sounds like. He sounds like he's done a lot of both, but it sounds mainly that he like has done a lot of calisthenics. It's like I'm guessing like mainly calisthenics background with a fair amount of like weightlifting thrown in. So again, like he said, you have to decide like what your goals are in the beginning, right? In my opinion, for a beginner, right, the best thing to start with, this is just my opinion, like don't listen to me, whatever. In my opinion, the best thing to start with if you're a beginner is you want to improve your look, right? You want to improve the way that you look. Because like, if you're a beginner, you're out of shape, does it really matter if you can do a fucking dragon flag? Like, maybe, I guess, but like what I would assume you're really after is the like validation from other human beings in the world that you look better than most people, right? Maybe that's just me. It could probably be possible that like for some reason you like want to conquer the dragon flag. It's possible. But in my opinion, as a beginner, I think the most motivating thing would be to see that your body is like you have a fit body, basically. And then, like I said, once you reach a basic level, then you can kind of decide where you want to specialize, right? You want to do calisthenics, you want to do the dragon flag, you want to do powerlifting, you want to do some sort of mix of all of these. Okay, fine. But and this is just me, right? Like, this dude obviously knows what he's talking about. And one more thing is that this is one of the reasons why I really like CrossFit, because the stuff that he's talking about, right? If you break down CrossFit and you take a look at what it actually is, it's kind of like what this guy is doing, except as far as I know, CrossFit, they don't. Do they do strongman stuff? I mean, I guess kind of, but you're sort of limited by the strongman things that you can do with the equipment that you have in a gym, right? So like, what is CrossFit? It's a mix of calisthenics, it's a mix of weight training, it's a mix of Olympic lifts, it's a mix of gymnastics, it's a mix of fucking aerobic, like cardio, like long distance cardio. It's all of this shit fucking thrown together, and like the exercise is like pulled out of a hat fucking randomly, you know what I mean? It's not quite like that, but that's kind of what it seems like to somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing. And the effect of this is that you have, like what he said, you're strong everywhere. You know, if you only do calisthenics, yeah, you'll be strong, but you might not be powerlifter strong, right? If you only do powerlifting, okay, you can fucking deadlift 600 pounds, but you can't, you know, do a dragon flag, for example, or you can't like run really without getting gassed after like 10 minutes of running. So again, that's why I like CrossFit, because the style of training is so diverse that when you do the workouts, even if it's just going to CrossFit.com and doing the workout of the day, which they post every day. You know, when I was doing CrossFit in like 2008, before it was like even a thing, because I was really into functional training back then, and I was really into like kettlebells, right? It used to be about kettlebells. It was like the whole like functional training, kettlebells are the best, blah blah blah. And so through kettlebells, I found CrossFit, because back then CrossFit was like, it was this like really niche, like weird thing that like, oh, you mix like this and this, because there really was none of that until CrossFit like made it popular. But now, you know, they made it more popular. You have like fucking CrossFit gyms everywhere, thank God. But I was doing the workout of the day like in the gym, or like with I had a 20 kilo kettlebell and a 28 kilo kettlebell, and like some pull-up bars near where I lived in Tel Aviv. So I would fucking drag my like either my 20 kilo or my 28 kilo down to the like fucking pull-up bar, like not that far, maybe like 6-7 minute walk, but I would drag it down there. It's fucking heavy, dude, to carry that shit for like 7 minutes. It's not easy. And people, it's Israel, right? So like people would look at it and be like, is that a bomb? Because it's fucking giant like kettlebell, like they don't know what that shit is, you know? And I do my like CrossFit workout on the fucking beach. And if you look at my oldest videos, like I have a couple workouts there that I filmed myself, because I was like super jacked. I was like, all right, I gotta film this. I kind of want to like move back there a little bit and do that. Anyway, whatever, we'll see. Maybe I will this year. Yeah, anyway, the point, doing varied types of training is good. If you're just starting out, I would stick to stuff that's going to improve your body composition, in my opinion. But do whatever you want. Fuck it, at least you're doing something.
Especially powerlifting, it can create a lazy person, 3x3, 5x5, not building brutal mentality, killer instincts, and you're not building it. So I would do shit tons of calisthenics, and high reps, lower weights, high reps, and kill yourself. You should try to kill yourself in training. The training should be excruciating, brutal. A lot of guys go to the gym for an hour, they call it a day. I mean, I don't think I've ever worked out for an hour. It's been many hours, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, sometimes days. I don't think an hour is going to turn you into the warrior or brutal person you want to be. A 45-minute session, this isn't P90X. So get those reps and sets done, build your base. I believe everyone should have as a good base, a strong base. This is the base I like to get people at. It's 20 pull-ups, and that's 20 straight. That's not pausing. It should be easy. 50 push-ups, good form, easy, no pausing. And 40 to 50 dips. Once you got that base down, I don't care what your weight is. If you say you're too heavy, you're too fat. You're not too heavy. So build that base. And strength, you want to bench around your body weight.
That's really good. 20 pull-ups, 50 dips, and 50 push-ups with good form. That's really good. And what he said, he's like, if you're a beginner, like kill yourself with the reps. I mean, that's technically, that's good advice. I don't know if that's good advice, because if you take a beginner who has no experience and they try and kill themselves on the reps in the beginning, they're going to be in so much pain, and it's going to be hard. Like, you don't want to just throw somebody into that, you know what I mean? I don't think. Just because like if you don't have a basic level of fitness and you try and do calisthenics for like 3 hours, you're going to like, it's going to be in so much pain. It's going to be so hard, you know? I don't know. I think you need a basic level of fitness. Also, what he said about powerlifting, building like a lazy mentality, that is a fair point, because when you are doing powerlifting, you're doing very low reps. So like you're not really doing any sort of conditioning. Most powerlifters don't run or do like any sort of conditioning at all. And they just do, a couple reps here and there. And then you're supposed to rest for like 5 minutes in between sets. He's right. You do get lazy from doing that. It's kind of cool. It's like a macho thing to be able to lift a lot of weight. It's fun. But like he said, jumping into that in the beginning is not good. And I guess his point of like starting out with the calisthenics is to condition yourself to doing very long and very intense workouts. And now that I think about it, that does make sense to do it that way. I mean, not that it makes sense. I see what he's trying to say, which is that when you have an extremely long, drawn-out workout that's very intense, like lots of calisthenics, for example, your overall work capacity is increased by a lot. You get used to doing a lot more work, basically. Was this guy, was he in prison? I don't know if he was in prison. I'm not getting like ex-military vibe. I'm getting like ex-prison vibe from him. I don't know. I could be wrong. But this is like how they work out in prison. They like work out all day. It's like, that's what they do. Like they work out all day, fucking push-ups, dips, pull-ups, like handstand push-ups, like in their cell. This is what happens in prison. So I mean, that's a good way to get really fit, but like how much of your day do you really want to spend working out? You know what I mean? You have to kind of like, at some point you have to make a trade-off, because I'm assuming you have like other shit you want to do in your life. You know what I mean? Not just like work out all the time. There's like the point that I made earlier in the video.
A lot of squat, obviously rep your body weight, and deadlift plus body weight plus 100 for reps. This is base strength. You build that base. A lot of people who ask me questions are beginners. They want to hop right into strongman. You're gonna get hurt jumping into atlas zones. You want to condition. You want to be conditioned. The guy who's doing 20 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, 50 dips, he's gonna have a better advantage when he transfers the weights. So get your basics down, calisthenics, and build your base from there up. But I would torture yourself, brutally torture yourself for reps and sets for years. People think they're advanced 3 years, 5 years. They're not. You got to do a decade plus. Put your time in. This shit is not easy. People want to get to the top level now. They want to get there now. They want to know the supplements you on now. Eat your food. Some days don't. Starve. Make it harder. Build that fucking mentality first. Torture yourself. Shit does not come easy. I torture myself for 14 years now to get here, and I didn't begin. I got a long way to go till I die. So you guys better have that iron will mentality. Do or die every day.
Wow. That's this guy's nuts. I never actually watched one of his videos, but damn, what a fucking guy's a machine, huh? Like, what a nut, man. Like, I'm shocked people like this or even like exist. What are the comments here? Please volunteer your bloodline to defend us. Yeah, seriously, like insane. What did he say? All right, so first of all, if somehow you're able to build up to 20 pull-ups, 50 dips, and what was the other one? 50 push-ups with good form, that's really good. That's like more than most people can do at all. It doesn't maybe sound like a lot, but that's incredible. When it comes to like extremely high volume workouts like this, I don't know. I think the guy's probably on steroids. I don't really know, but like to do this type of workload is like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say you need it. I guess you can get used to anything, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna say like probably on something, which again, like I've said many times, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if you go into this thinking, like if you go into this without using those, it's gonna be way harder. Like I don't want to say impossible, but much harder. Whereas if you have the drugs to like help you recover, and help you get put more into the workouts, so you get more out of the workouts, it's going to be a much more pleasant experience overall for that. As far as like jumping straight into strongman, like, okay, let's put it like this. If you're able to do 20 pull-ups and fucking 50 dips and 50 push-ups with good form without stopping, you're going to be a fucking rock solid dude. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be rock solid. Like, you can go into whatever sport you want when you can do it at that point. But I guess the question is like, okay, like if you do steroids, and you train hard, I think you can get there in a couple months. You know what I mean? It's not this like unheard of thing that you need to take 10 years to fucking do 20 pull-ups. Like, definitely not. If you train really hard and you're on gear and you're eating well and you're resting enough, I don't think it'll take that long to get there, right? 20 pull-ups is not, he didn't say like 100 pull-ups, you know what I mean? And 50 dips, it's not like, it doesn't actually take that long. But like again, like I said earlier, like why? What's the point? You just want to like be a strong person for what? You know what I mean? Like why? It's like an ego thing. It'll make you feel confident. Like I said in the beginning, you don't need that much. You know, if you want to get there, it's like a hobby of yours. You want to take the next like 10 years of your life working up to it. Okay. But like he said, like don't be. I don't know. I don't want to recommend to people that they work out like 6 hours a day. But like, if you want, I guess. Anyway, interesting video. Thank you for exposing me to this guy. He is off his fucking rocker for sure, in a good way. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, cool. Anabolic breakfast of pizza. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you guys have any other recommendations for videos? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.